Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. My name is Muhammad Hafiezi bin Bahrir with metric number 07DKA18F2035. So today, I will present to you about my presentation for industrial training at TBT Piling Sabah Sendirian Berhad from 27 September 2021 until 11 February 2022. So, without further ado, let's start our presentation. In this presentation, I will show you about introduction of industrial training, objective of industrial training, organizational background, my working time, ball piling process, point load test, concreting process, findings and suggestions, and conclusions. So I'll start from introduction of industrial training. In general, students from institutes of higher learning (IPT) like Kota Kinabalu Politeknik will partake in industry training in the last semester. Industry training lasts for 4 months and a half or 5 months and takes place at a company or organization chosen by the student or assigned to them. Students must return to college after months of industrial training to present all activities completed throughout the training. Students will gain knowledge and experience in technological development, effective communication, teamwork methods, rules, procedures and regulations, professional viewpoints, and reporting in this course. This training will boost students' motivation and proactive attitude, as well as their confidence in their ability to be an exceptional coach. Objective of industrial training is the goal of industrial training is to expose students to real-world work experiences while also providing them with knowledge gained via hands-on observation and job performance. Students will gain skills in work ethics, communication, management, and other areas as a result of their industrial training. Furthermore, this hands-on training program enables students to connect academic knowledge to real-world applications in the industrial business. For the organizational background, TBT Piling Sabah Sendirian Berhad was founded in July 2013 by the Managing Director, Mr. Tan Peng Lam, in order to offer the local construction market alternative high-quality reinforced concrete pile products at competitive prices and a one-stop shop organization for piling installation services. Through constant development and expansion, this service now includes installation of various pile products by modern injection method or conventional hydraulic hammer method, together with cast-in-place ball piling, sheet piling by vibrohammer, and maintain load testing of piles, all conducted in accordance with relevant local and international standards. This is the official logo for the organization, the TBT Piling Sabah Sendirian Berhad, and the address is Lot 45, number 11, Lorong Gunung Ulu Merak 2, Taman Hilltop, Jalan Lintas Loyang Commercial Center, Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. From my working time, from Monday until Saturday, and the working time is 8 a.m. until 5 p.m., while our rest time is 12 p.m. until 1 p.m., and for overtime, from 5 p.m. and above. And usually, our overtime lasts until 10 p.m. or midnight, 12 a.m. Bow pile, also known as a drill pile, is a type of reinforced concrete foundation that is used to support structures that have high vertical loads. Bow pile is a concrete pile that has been cast in place on the construction site. In this is contrast to other concrete pile foundation that use prefabricated concrete piles such as span pile and reinforced concrete square pile (RC pile) foundations. Bridges, large structures, and massive industrial complexes all require deep foundation, which is the bow pile is widely used for it. During my practical, I was assigned to supervising and monitoring bow piling works at SK Nexilis site V21 residence site and maritime hotel site at Bandaran. Bore piling work must be performed by a bore pile operator. This is a highly specialized operation that necessitates substantial knowledge and experience in bore pile building and engineering, as well as soil and site condition. So, before we start the work, we must pick a point that needs to be bought from surveyor team, as you can see in the picture. The first step in installing a bore pile is to use a bore piling machine to drill a vertical hole in the earth. Then, a temporary steel cylinder or casing may be inserted into the ground during the drilling process until the pile is poured with concrete. This will remain in place in the upper half of the bore hole. Then, after the casing inserted into the ground, the boring process will continue until the termination depth. After the hole has been bored, the consultant and main con representative will witness and check the depth to see if the borehole depth is acceptable or not, which is the termination depth. Then, a framework made of reinforcing steel rebar cage is constructed and dropped into the hole after finish witnessing the termination depth with the consultant, after which the hole will be poured with concrete. As for the point load test, the point load test should be done during the boring process to find sandstones, rocks for determining the socket length for the borehole. So, it means from the strength of the stones, the consultant can determine how much length should be used for the borehole. So, the first step is to find the sandstones that are in the area of the soil that was taken out from the borehole for a sample to do the point load test. And then make sure to find stones with average size and not too small. Then, measure the dimension of the sandstones using vernier caliper. After measuring the sandstone, put the sandstone in between the conical platens of the point load machine. The platens are then will be close to make contact with one another. The pressure of the sandstone from the conical platens will be read and shown at the point load meter. The reading will set after the sandstone crumbles after the pressure from the point load machine. So after finish, continue with the next sandstone sample. So during my practical, we use only 3 samples for each meter. As for the concreting process, before the pouring concrete process begin, a slump test should be done first to determining if the concrete can be poured into the hole. A technician will do the test by inserting the concrete into a conical mold. Then, the concrete inside will be mixed and stirred to avoid any voids inside. So after that, pull out the conical mold slowly and measure the concrete from the top of the conical mold. The remaining concrete will be used for another test, which is the cube test by pouring into the cube mold. Then after 24 hours will the test start. After the slump test, the lorry concrete will go to the pouring process. Then, after the pouring process finish, the casing that have been inserted during the early process will be pulled out from the ground for the finishing. And this is not the case for PDA test, as the test require the casing to remain in the ground. As for the normal one, all of them should be pulled out. For the findings and suggestions, from the early days until the last day, I have been monitoring bore pile works. A lot of challenges we were had, such as delayed progress due to extreme weather, which is a heavy rain and extremely hot weather, working platform that keeps changing due to muddy area after rain and need to be repaired before we can start any work, machinery troubleshoot during drilling process, which will make the boring process delayed. and the concreting in rainy weather, and many more. So I may suggest that the supervisor must take a look at weather condition, machinery condition, and workers' health before starting to work to prevent any mishap during work. Finally, the conclusions. I can conclude that industrial training is extremely significant and can provide many benefits for students who will graduate with a diploma or certificate to gain experience before they enter the real world in the future, where the students will be exposed to a variety of jobs or labor in the period allotted. Students can learn to interact more effectively and politely with co-workers and supervisors through industrial training, and students will also learn to be more disciplined in their work and more committed to their work and jobs at work. And that's all for my presentation. Thank you.